Ferris here. Sometimes I meet college graduates who are still looking for a job years after graduation, or they're underemployed. And it wasn't just me. According to research, 50% of college graduates are underemployed a year after graduation, and over 12% are not employed. This should not be the case. I find it troubling that college students go through all this hard work, all they burn the midnight oil, they do their term papers, the final exams, years and years of studying hard and working hard, and they struggle to land jobs in their fields. So in this video, I will share 5 tips to help you overcome these struggles, and also share another route to fulfill your dreams that you might not have thought of. I've made this commitment to helping college graduates and Gen Zers out there kick off their careers stronger than I did. So I'll share some of my struggles, some of the struggles that I've heard from other graduates. And I speak maybe on an average to new graduates, someone who's looking for career advice once a week. And I wanna share with you practical tips that you can apply no matter what the economy situation is, no matter what the external factors are. There are things you can do to increase your chances of breaking into the workforce, whether you want to um, be be an employee and work for someone else, or you want to have your own business. And as a reminder, last week we covered 4 tips on breaking into the workforce. We talked about the entrepreneurial spirit. We talked about living label free, and sort of dealing with this work-life balance myth, and also the economy. But today we're covering 5 new tips on helping you start your career stronger. And if you're new to this channel, welcome to Startup with Ferris. We talk a lot about entrepreneurship. We talk about those who have ideas and they want to turn those ideas into business, and we enable you out there to get into entrepreneurship, stronger, build and scale businesses to 7 and 8 figures from the experiences that we've had in the 7 ventures that I've built and co-founded, and also from talking to other founders and successful people. So before we start, just a couple of items here in terms of logistics and administrative uh, aspects. One is, if you have questions, feel free to leave us a comment on whichever platform you're on, or you can submit a question in the form that's in the description. And then if you are watching or listening live or tuning in later, let me know if you like what we are hearing, what we're covering, and what other topics you'd like me to cover. What we do these live streams every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. We cover a topic related to entrepreneurship, and in this case, also helping the young generation start stronger. In the workplace, and then we answer, in addition to covering a specific topic, we answer the questions that come our way from the community. All right, so let's jump right in. The first tip for today is about staying ahead of technology and trends. The main edge in employability and in entrepreneurship has long been an understanding of trends and emerging technologies. And if you think about it now, the buzzword is AI. We are at an inflection point with AI. It is shaping up to be the trend and technology of our age. So I want you out there, embrace it, and I want you to learn it. Even if you're not technical, you don't have to be a computer scientist or a machine learning engineer to learn about AI and use AI and have AI as an advantage for you. So find ways to incorporate AI skills into what you do. I'll give you some examples. Uh, Prompt engineering was a thing last year, still a thing, I think. Writing powerful prompts, at least for now, till these large language models, these LLMs, become better, or maybe they get so good they can read our minds. Until that point, I think we need people who write very, very strong prompt. So you can just say, hey, help me out, give me check out my resume, give me feedback. Like say, hey, I studied engineering, I studied graphic design, I studied I'm an English major, whatever the case might be, and I worked on those specific projects, and I'm looking for a job in this specific field. So having a strong prompt, it's actually something you can help other companies with. Some folks just don't know how to use ChatGPT or Gemini till today. So that's something. These are just examples on how you can sharpen your skills when it comes to AI. Let's say you want to work in HR, in human resources. You can learn how to use systems today that are leveraging AI. There are a lot of services out there, for example, that they help employers match the resumes that they receive with the job descriptions that are posted, and they will score these resumes based on the job description. So you can, if you add that, if you are looking for a job in HR, and you're just a recent graduate. As a matter of fact, even if you're not a recent graduate, if you're looking for a job in HR, adding certifications, adding things that you've done around trends and technology in that space is important. So you can go and learn these tools and then add that to your resume. If, let's say, I'm just giving you a whole lot of examples, depending on your field. Let's say you're in video editing. That's a service you want to apply for a job in video editing, or maybe again you want to have your own, maybe own initial side hustle here to build skills to have your own business in the near future. You can learn how video editors are leveraging AI. There's so many tools out there. Adobe Premiere Pro. They I think, I don't know if it's out yet, or I'm not an editor, but I hear from our editor you can add, remove objects. You can do different things. You can make the clips longer. You can do other things with AI. So learn those skills if video editing is something that you want to work in. Even in sales, uh, there are systems now where you can they can if for example you have a CRM, a customer relationship management system, and you are applying to be an admin, you want to work support a sales organization, see how AI is used in these tools. A lot of these tools, they offer a free version. You can sign up for it, or maybe like pay $10 a month to learn, play with that tool. And that's how you build skills, is not just reading about those tools, but you can play with these tools, subscribe to them, get a free version, or a free subscription, or pay $10, whatever low, sort of low, the lower price package that's out there. This way you have some experience with it, and then you have skills in it, and then you can add that to your resume, and those skills are sought after. So keep that in mind. Make it a daily routine, make it a weekly routine, but explore AI tools related to your field, and also subscribe to a couple of newsletters in that field. That's what I do. I have it on my calendar on Sundays. I spend half an hour just browsing around things related to AI and entrepreneurship, so I can apply it to our business where it makes sense, and I also can share what I'm learning with founders and those seeking help. So that is one important thing, is to stay ahead of technologies and trends, and be out there. Now you can, this is sort of I think it spans all fields, but depending on the space you're in, there might be also some technologies or trends that are related to your own vertical. Let's say you're in marketing, and there are a lot of new regulations around privacy. So learning about privacy is important. Let's say you're in healthcare, and this has been for a few years now about the patient, about personal health information. So learning new things, getting certificates in these new areas, in whichever vertical you're in, whichever sector you're in, that will increase your chances of getting employed, and also it will increase your skills, the technical skills that you need to start and build your own business. And here's an incentive for you, for those of you looking for that perfect job and looking for employability. Wages for AI related roles were on the average 25% higher in the US than for comparable jobs in the same field that did not require those skills. So if you have Um, if you have some of those AI skills, you don't have to be technical. If you're technical and if you're in programming, of course, learning about machine learning and being learning about AI, it's important for programming. But I'm speaking to those of us who are not in programming as well. You can learn how AI is implemented in processes, in systems, and workflows. How you can again become proficient at it, and then share it. Share that on your LinkedIn profile and social media in whichever way, places where you're applying for a job, and again, or you're just building a business and using those AI skills to include them in the services that you offer, and also to automate some of the processes you have in your own business. All right, so that is on that first tip on kind of being ahead, being adopting trends and understanding the technologies that are around us. So let's pause for a question. What do we have here? For AI, are you saying use AI in my company or help clients with AI? I'm saying both actually. So if you are, three things actually I'm saying. If you're looking for a job, add AI skills, uh, add one more arrow to your quiver, the AI arrow, right? If you're looking for a job. Now, if you have your own business, or if you are a recent graduate and you are thinking of having your own business or have something like a side hustle and now you want to turn it into a full-time job, that you own your own business, use AI in your workflow. That will give you an advantage, and also find ways to incorporate AI into the service that you're offering. And again, the examples I mentioned, like the video editing, like the HR consulting. If you want to have an HR consulting, maybe like a recruitment firm, you're good with people. People come to you, connect people. Historically, that's what you've done. You had a side hustle of connecting people with jobs. Use AI in your way, maybe in your own systems to uh, again vet incoming resumes, make matching better and faster, more efficient, and also offer that service to your clients. So I would say look for both ways to incorporate AI in your own business, so that you do things more efficiently, more effectively, and then also find ways to incorporate AI into what you're offering. I think both things will. It's something I recommend. Cool. So that is on the first point. Let's see. Right. The second tip today is about aligning your values with your work. Now, I know this is very important to Gen Z and millennials. It is inspiring that many graduates, they're looking for a job that aligns with their values, and some of the older folks as well. Uh, but in terms of Gen Z, according to a research by Deloitte, 86% of Gen Z say having a sense of purpose is important for their job satisfaction. So that's good. It's inspiring. I love it, and I think millennials had similar perspectives as well. If, however, the purpose and sort of what inspires you, if you make it at the top of your requirements list for a job, many hiring managers might not understand where you're coming from. So there might be some generational gap there. So my recommendation is not to walk away for those looking for jobs, and those who are finding it difficult to maybe find something that aligns with their values. My recommendation is not to walk away from opportunities that don't align exactly with your values. Now, so there are a lot of nuance here, but assess all aspects of any professional opening that is in front of you. Very few things in life are black and white, good or bad. There usually there's a a spectrum of things. So don't expect an employer to make a great effort to align with your values. Have high expectations of yourself, but don't expect others too much from others. So 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 that's one thing to keep in mind. I'll give you an example. If this is really important to you, you can start your own business, and then you can make this business as purpose driven as you want. You can establish in your own business, you can establish the culture that you want. You can uphold the values that are most important to you, and you can serve the purpose that inspires you. So uh, you can do that. And I'll give an example. So I'm kind of I walk the talk. When my partner and I started our very first business, and we were selling web design services. This is 20 years ago. Web design and websites were a thing, big thing at the time, and we were also doing online marketing. We decided that we would say no to clients in a few industries. That included adult, tobacco, and a couple others. And that was, I remember we look into each other's eyes and say, are we committed to this? We're not going to say yes to business from these industries. Again, not judging. There was something important to us for a lot of reasons. Happy to talk about this later. But those were important things to my co-founder and myself. So throughout the ups and downs of that business, throughout times when we really did not have money in the bank and it was really difficult, we were set on saying no to these types of businesses. And I know for a fact that we walked away from 6-digit contracts, and we never regretted it a bit because that was important to us. So whatever is important to you, uh, if you go the route of entrepreneurship and you start your own business, you can, I'm not saying it's the easiest route right after college, or it's not the easiest route in general. But if you decide to go that route and you want to build your own business, then you have a lot of control into how you create that business, how you create the culture, how you create the values for those businesses, what clients you work with, what clients you don't work with. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's important to have values, to have high standard, to whatever is important to you. But if you're looking for a job, as I said earlier, look at all aspects of the opportunities, and then make a a call on whether you want to pursue that job or not. And then if you want to have your own business, I think you have a whole lot more leeway in doing whatever you want to do. Just know that that entrepreneurial path will take some time and effort. And as you have skills, as you work hard, you'll increase your chances of making it big with your own job. So that is the second point. Let's pause and see what questions we have. All right. Seems like the values question is a fine line. How do you decide? That's a very good question. So the value question is a fine line. Like it's I mentioned the industries that we said we will not work in, right? Like tobacco, adult, and a couple others. So that those to us, it's clear cut. But sometimes it's I remember we got a form that on our website we had a form for leads to submit their request, and we had a form, and the website was sort of borderline. Is this really adult? Is it not? I mean, so I consulted with my business partner, a few of our senior team members at the time, and we made a call. So it is a fine line. Again, very few things in life are black and white. So I don't have a specific answer, but I think set some parameters. I think have someone, maybe have, if you don't have a business partner, maybe have an accountability partner, people you trust, people who know you, people who know you well and know what you stand for. Consult with them, consult with an advisor, people who maybe share the same type of values, see how they're dealing with similar situations. uh, it's hard. It's hard. Life is not easy, and especially if if you have your own business and the business is hurting, and you have a contract that could ease some of the pain, some of the financial pain. Yeah, it gets tempting, uh, but you don't want to do something that you will regret in the future. You don't want to do something that you'll feel terrible, awful about. So I would say if things are blurry, if you're not sure, check with people who know you well. Check with maybe an advisor. Check with someone who has similar, not just any advisor, With people, as I always say, always when you're seeking advice, um, seek advice from those who have been to where you want to go. So seek advice from people who share similar values. I think they might not even they might not even they might not be able to tell you exactly what to do, but they'll probably give you some tips and some guidance that will help you along the way. All right, tough question. I don't know if I answered it fully or properly, but I gave you with the way I've dealt with similar situations in the past. All right. So moving on to the third point, the third tip is, I want you to be aware of all the help that is around you and available to you. Many people are ready to help. Again, whether you are looking to find this perfect job, or you're looking to launch a business, or to start a side hustle with the idea of doing a side hustle for a little bit of time and sort of to launch your full-time business in the future, there's a lot of help around you. Narcissists and egotistic people aside, and they're a minority, most successful people acknowledge that they did not make it to the top without the help of many, many, many other people. And I can tell you with certainty that these accomplished people love nothing more than helping the younger generations of entrepreneurs, and also those who are seeking career advice. So reach out. Even if it feels awkward, reach out. Don't hesitate. You can go on LinkedIn, uh, and if you haven't been on LinkedIn, if you're a new graduate, go on LinkedIn, set up your profile, make sure it's professional, and start look at the people that maybe your college friends, maybe when you worked in the summer, you interned, people that you know in your community, maybe relatives or friends or friends of parents, and all of that. All though this will be your immediate network, right? So start to establish your network on LinkedIn or maybe other professional platforms. If you're active on Reddit, if you're active on Discord, there's a community, and especially you want to connect with people that whom you've left a positive impression on. They know you, they've seen you in action. This person is dependable. This person has integrity. This person is really good at this uh, gaming, or they give good advice on whatever the case might be. Let's say you want to be a professional trainer, and they've seen you work hard at the gym. Whatever the case might be, you have a network of people around you. And if you don't have a network around you, start working on one. It's never too late. Even if you're on your mid career or late career and you've been focused on one technical thing and you've never been out there networking, it's never too late to start to establish and grow a network. A friend of mine, actually, he was my boss's boss many, many years ago, 25 years ago. I just saw a few months ago, I saw a post on LinkedIn where he says, "This is my first post on LinkedIn." The guy is probably in his 50s and he's an accomplished executive. Impressive, but he's just been busy in life and did not have a need to network, and now he's building his network. So it's never too late to build your network, and start early on and keep growing that network and reach out to this network. You can also do things in person. Yes, I'm asking you to leave tech behind you and go to networking events. You can go to a chamber of commerce event. You can search for meetups in your local area, or maybe if you live in a small town, maybe a regional conference somewhere in nearby city. Attend conferences, attend networking events, tell people what you're trying to accomplish. I know it's going to be awkward. It's hard to cold sell, as we say in sales, making cold calls and meeting strangers for the first time. Yes, it's going to be nervous and awkward, but just prepare. Go search. We have tips on. We have a video on pitching. So in this case, you're not pitching a service. If you're looking for a job, you're pitching yourself. Or if you do have your own business, you are pitching yourself in a way. So fight that nervousness that comes around meeting people in person if you haven't been doing a lot of that. So go out and meet people. And for the graduates listening, you're likely going to be the youngest person in that event or at that conference. But guess what? It means that you'll stand out in a good way. The older folks who are managers, who are business owners, they're going to say, check out this kid, check out this young kid. He or she are here. It immediately signals that this person is serious about work. They're attending an event because you're not expected to be there. So again, I talked about living label free last week. The same thing here. Just because your peers don't go to these events where the older people are at, it does not mean that you shouldn't. I would say some of our most amazing hires happened at networking events, and some of the hires we had from those who are just out of college were from those courageous few who went and attended a conference and then networked with business owners and then applied for jobs. And we ended up hiring one of them. This is many years ago. And this amazing hire for us. And he traveled, he came from out of town to attend this conference. And he just walked around and talked to people and figure out who's hiring and who's not, and then follow up after the conference and then got a few offers. So when you meet people in person, you're not going to be competing with 100 resumes that are sent over email. You're making real connections, again, with potential employers and potential business owners, or potentially you are meeting with people who could be your co-founders, your potential future business partners. So leverage your network, reach out to anyone you left a positive impression with, and whatever help you need, whether it's on technical skills, on soft skills, even on emotional support, because it's really difficult to keep knocking on doors to get a job or to start a business, knocking on doors to sell, and you're getting rejection. So it is difficult. So there are mentors, there are coaches, there are advisors out there who are ready to help. A lot of them will help at no charge. You can find people who are semi-retired, successful people who are semi-retired or retired. They'll be more than happy to help you out. Just reach out to them and ask for help, and be very specific with what you're looking for, and then with your skills and the things you've done, and you will find help. I am certain. And if you're stuck in that, reach out to me. You can direct message me on LinkedIn, or leave us a comment on any of the platforms, or just email us at Startup with Ferris, and I'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction. Cool. Let's see if we have any comments or questions. All right. A question here. Can I join the Chamber of Commerce even if I'm not in business yet? So I believe, at least for the San Jose Chamber of Commerce, your business, and you apply, and I think it's about $500 to be an annual membership. So I'm not recommending, if you have your own business, yes. And if you think the chamber is a place for you to network and get leads and meet people, yes. But if you are not in business yet, you can attend all these events either free or for like a $10 or a $5 or $20 fee. So in terms of being a member, you don't have to be a member. You can attend these monthly. They have these mixers. They have these, breakfast, um, um, coffees on Thursdays, or these mixers, Taco Tuesdays, or whatever they have. It's open to everybody. Again, you might have to pay a fee. Usually there's food and involved and whatnot. So yes, you don't have to join the chamber right away. But if you have your own business and you think the audience, those who attend the Chamber of Commerce events, or the other ones, actually, there's BNI. You can go. There's SCORE. There's the like meetups. There are industry events. You don't have to go and sign up and pay fees initially. Just go check out these events on your own without being a member. And if you see these are helpful, then become a member and be an active member. This way, also you help, and you get more visibility. Good question. All right. The fourth one, and if those of you who are just listening, joining us right now, we are talking about that perfect job, and also the perfect opportunity to start your own business. And we talked about so far 3 tips, and now we are going to the 4th tips, and we have a total of 5. So the 4th point I want to talk about today is financial literacy. It's important to know that financial illiteracy could be devastating to your future, whether again personal, um, or if you have your own business. Anywhere, depending on the stats, anywhere from 39% to 50% of the population in developed countries haven't attained financial literacy, with women coming in 8 percentage points lower than men. So these stats, they might vary across different segments of the society, um, socioeconomic classes, what have you. But the broader need for greater familiarity with financial concepts is clear. Uh, it's not only um, uh, okay, I have this much money in the bank, but also the financial values, that the financial discipline that you want to build up, especially for those listening and they're early on in their career and they're younger. See, we're constantly bombarded with marketing and social messages to spend more and acquire more and consume more. So when we're more we have more financial literacy, and we have strong financial habits, those will help us build the resistance muscle against this constant urge to buy and consume more. It's really important early on in your career, to learn about this, and without this financial literacy, I think you'll be much more likely to squander your earnings and get into debt. And then it's really hard to get out of debt as we consume more and buy more, and have this urge to just get the latest this and the latest that. So I mean, this is especially important if you're inclined to take the route of entrepreneurship. Uh, you'll have you'll certainly have a uh, harder time starting and managing a successful business if you don't have these strong financial habits. So again, don't want to come across as I'm preaching or judging, but this is the reality. 39% to 50% of us in developed countries lack in this area. So learning about it, spending time understanding, what is how to live maybe below your means, how to save. Initially, in some phases in our lives, we're working two jobs, three jobs, we can barely make it. So yeah, we can't maybe save at that point. But as we start to make more, as we build up and more skills and sharpen those skills, and can get better jobs, or do better financially at the businesses that we've started, as we start to have more, is not what I used to tell younger folks, including my children. Is not about making more money, because you can get a raise, you can get a bonus. It's how much are you saving from the money. So it's not about making more money. It's how do I manage my expenses, and how do I save and consistently save. It will work like magic over time. Again, whether it's for the future house you want to buy, or the car that you want to buy, or the marriage the wedding that you're planning for, or whether the initial capital that you need to start a business, you have to, I think, have those strong financial habits early on. All right, let's see. I think we have maybe one more question, before maybe two, before we go to the fifth and last point for today. So the next question: how can I get financially literate for business? So for business, so personally, for personal finance, again, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. Again, make sure it's a solid, credible channel. A lot of scam, some scam out there. So be careful, especially if they're asking you to buy something right away. Learn, get free stuff, get free advice first. But I think for business, you want to understand, for example, well, we have P&L, like profits and loss. So here's my sources of income. Right, I sell an online course, I do consulting, I do projects, I get maybe referral fees from people, I from an affiliate program, whatever the sources of income that you have into the business. And then you have a list of expenses. So I have a couple contractors. I go to WeWork and once a week, and I have to pay for that. And then obviously computers, and maybe marketing. You need, so they're understanding the basic um, aspects of running a business, and understanding like profit and loss. That's really important. I think understanding the concepts of revenue and cash flow, they're two different things. I had no idea when I started a business. So for example, yeah, I closed a $10,000 deal. Awesome. But let's say the customer say, I will pay you 60 days after the project is done. So let me walk you through this example one more time. Let's say you sold a contract for $10,000, and you're jumping up and down. This is the largest deal you've closed. You're happy, amazing. Then you did not notice that the payment terms are such the client will pay you 2 months after, 60 days, net 60, 2 months after you complete the project. And let's say your project requires you maybe 2 months to do the work. So that means you're going to get paid 4 months after you sign that contract, meaning you have no cash flow from this contract for 4 months, and you have to put your time and maybe a contractor that's who's helping you to deliver on that contract. So understanding the difference between revenue and cash flow, and what's an asset is, what a liability is. So I think those are some basic concepts. Obviously, we won't have time to cover these in on this live stream, but we do have a playlist. We talk about accounting. I think it's really important for you to understand accounting and understand finance. And I believe we have 3 videos specifically talk about business and accounting and finance. So we will add the links to these videos in the description. So for those of you interested to dig deeper into that, and also those of you maybe who are listening in later and want to have access to that resource, we'll put the link in the description. But yeah, it is important to know about the way you price, um, recurring revenue, cash flow, revenue recognition. All of these are important topics that will be maybe more important at different phases of your business. But initially, it's not just about closing deals and moving on. There's more to it than that. All right, good stuff. The last point, the 5th tip, and the last point I want to share with you today is about service. So everything we've covered. So we've covered 4 tips last week, and then so far 4 tips today. It's all about you and how we help you either get that perfect job, increase your chances of getting a job, or increasing your chances of starting a successful business. But the last point I want to talk to you about today is about giving back, about service. So at every juncture in your life, try to do something to help others, no matter how small. I got the volunteering bug early on in my life, in my college days. Um, and later I started to donate blood, and now I'm very fortunate that I'm eligible to donate blood, and I'm, I think, close to like 110 donations. I don't know, 25 years later. And then just helping out nonprofits financially or otherwise is important. And I think the reward that we get as those who give time, or give money, or even just think think about people, and if you're the spiritual type, praying for people, or just you know ha, keep them in your mind, and wish them well, and have that positive energy. It's all important. It helps us. I think as much as it helps the receivers of these gifts, it also helps us really understand what's important in life. I think it grounds us. It is this sense of service and giving. It's very, very rewarding. I think more to the giver in a way than to the receiver. And in the various ventures that we've started and built, I always made sure that we had a plan. As we become profitable, we would take a percentage either of our top revenue or our profits and share that with causes. And we've encouraged our team members in those companies to volunteer, and to also I remember we at the end of the year, we had a great year. One year said, okay, all our team members and our clients, send us a list of causes that you support, and then we would donate on their behalf. So all of that, I think, is really important. Even early on in your career, when you don't have a lot of resources, maybe you can find an hour a week. You can go to a homeless shelter and help. You can go to um, maybe Habitat for Humanity. You can go to the Red Cross and volunteer or donate blood, whatever cause um, that suits you, that you believe in. I think it's important to do that. And if you're in the business context, if you're really good at social media, if you're really good at maybe you know how YouTube works and how to do shorts or how to do Instagram reels, whatever the case, whatever you know, go to a nonprofit that has an awful website and maybe help them, and there are many of them, and help them have an amazing online presence, right? That's how you can help from what you have, from the skills that you have. And it could be just an hour a week. You get on Zoom and you show them how to do it, and you give them maybe a basic content calendar, right? You can go and help maybe in your high school or the college you went to, and tutor if you're good in math, if you're good in sports. Go to an underprivileged maybe high school or middle school and see if they're looking for people to volunteer. So the idea here, we can talk about this for a long time. At least I can, and it's something that's really important to me. But as I said, it's something, there's just something very special about helping others and about supporting causes, and the reward is far greater, I think, to the giver than to the receiver. And I'll wrap up with this. Remember what the wisdom of Ralph Waldo Emerson, in what he said, that the purpose of life is not to be happy, it is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference, that you have lived and lived well. So, with this, for those of you listening who are recent graduates, I send my best wishes for a life of purpose, of impact, and fulfillment. And for those of us who are beyond graduation and we're still struggling, uh, struggle is part of life. It's difficult at times. I remember days when we didn't have money for payroll, and I had to tap into my savings to come up with payroll. And over time, you commit to what you're doing, you learn from your mistakes, you learn from the mistakes of others, you work hard, and the chances of succeeding increase significantly. So if you're struggling out there, reach out for help. A lot of people are there ready to help you. You can definitely um, uh, reach out to me personally, direct message me on LinkedIn, or leave us a comment on any of these platforms. And if you are serious about the entrepreneurial path, we do have a couple of resources for you. I'll end with that. We have our YouTube channel, so make sure to hit the like button if you're liking this what you're hearing, and also become follow us, hit the subscribe button as well, and also go to startupwithfaraz.com, Faraz spelled Feras.com, like my first name, and sign up for the Daily Advisor, our daily newsletter, where we share tips and strategies and ideas to help you build, scale, grow, and scale your business to 7 and 8 figures. So that's it for today. See you next time.